All right, welcome back, everybody. It is a brand new trading week. It is Sunday, July 13th, 2025. I am going to be conducting my weekly analyst, my weekly breakdown, whatever you want to call it. And sure enough, I will be going over all my past markups, right? So let's jump right into this now. First, we will be going over Bitcoin. If you want to come over here and check this out, do so. But this is the daily chart right now. If you do remember or want to go back into my past videos, you can see when I marked this up exactly and why I marked it up the way I did, right? So I'm going to go ahead and delete this fib. And I want to talk about this, right? Because when price was trading around this area, I did specifically say that I wanted to see price pull on back somewhere, build structure before continuing on up. Right now, let's delete that. You can see that is exactly what we got, right? We got a bearish candle, bullish, bullish, bearish, bullish, and then the breakup, push up, and after that, price just took off, right? But let's go on down to the 4 hour and we can see it a little bit more clearly, right? We did get the push, and then and only then did I say that if price potentially pulled on back, build a structure, which it did, that we would then see price pull on up. Now you can see there is some type of minute floor here, which would have worked perfectly for a bull entry to take that big old push on up, right? I kept it simple for y'all. I told y'all that I didn't want to see price pull back in this area because if you look to the left, multiple times did price reject on this area or on this floor, right? Kept it simple. Now, obviously what happened? Price took on up, and yeah, that's the end of that, right? But what I do want to do is delete all of this and start off fresh so we can potentially gauge Bitcoin and see what we are going to be looking for next, right? Since we did get this bull push on up, if you do remember, I like to keep things simple. When and only when would we be looking for some type of entry to find a continuation pattern on up, right? Do we take an entry when it's up here, or do we take an entry when price is up here? Right? No, that is currently where price is. So would we want to find any type of buying position at this higher high, right? I will mark it off for you. This is considered a higher low. This up here will be considered our higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And this is currently our what? Our higher high. We do not take any type of buying entry or a buying signal at a higher high. We do what? We take a buying entry or an anticipation buying signal at a higher low point. So with that being said, you are going to want to wait for price to pull on back somewhere, and that's somewhere more than likely 80% of the time, 90% of the time is going to be at a previous floor or a previous ceiling now turned to a floor, right? So what are we going to do over here? We are going to mark off this level here because we did have price reject, and I am going to mark off a little bit lower down. Like I said, another thing also that I like to do is I don't like to be specific, right? I don't have to be right here. Oh, because that's the wig, that's the body, that's the wig. It does not matter to me. I could put it down here. At the end of the day, just know that in this area, price is more than likely to do what? To reject, right? Just know that if price comes back in this area, there is some type of buyers. There is buying pressure all along this area. And if you want to make it more simple, go ahead and mark off this whole area for us. All right. So with Bitcoin as of now, this is the daily. So it will take a couple days. It will take a couple weeks for this to build on out. Even then, we might even see price continue this bull momentum and just miss out on this buying opportunity. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. So with that being said, I do want to see price give us some type of deeper pullback back into this area, build on structure, then continue back on up. Yes, this is on the daily. This might be a weekly play that I am gauging. I'm not too sure yet, but we will just wait and see. If not, more than likely price will give us a little minute pullback here for all you scalper traders and do the same thing and pull on up, right? But at the end of the day, price will more than likely give us some type of pullback down here unless we see structure be built up here. But as of now, we are going to wait for an anticipated pullback for that higher low to be built before we take price on up. All right, that is pretty simple. Let's move on. US 30. Now, last time I left off, it's kind of like Bitcoin. We are pushing up into a higher high. Only then would we want to wait for some type of pullback to then give us that higher low anticipated point to take price back on up. Now, this is why I have my areas marked off here, but to keep things simple, let's start all over, right? So what are we looking for, right? Couple things that I can tell you. This is the daily. I do see some type of resistance over here coming on the left. I'm going to mark off a couple areas. It does not matter. Just know that we are running into some type of resistance, but at the same time, we are pushing very, very bullish. So we do not want to go against that, right? If we are pushing bullish, what can we potentially see, right? Well, I am going to mark off right about here, and only if price can give us some type of pullback to this area, build structure first, then I would like to potentially take price on up. Why did I mark off this area? Well, because we have rejection in this area over here, another one over here, more rejection down here when price broke on down, it came back, retested that area and pushed on down. Now that we are breaking above this, if price can give us a retouch of this area, more than likely we will see price shoot on up. I'm not too sure, right? But we're going to keep eyes on that area. Okay. Another area that I would like to mark off is potentially over here. Same thing. We have rejection in this area, small candle wick in this area, more rejection down here. So more than likely if price can pull back on or give us a deeper pullback to this area, more than likely we could see the same exact thing. These are the two areas I am going to be watching. Now, another key thing that you do want to take note, it is only when price can finally break this area down here that then and only then would we be in a major downtrend, right? Price can pull and do whatever it wants in this area, but as long as we stay above this last higher low, we are still going to be pushing on up from a swing trading standpoint. Now, if you go down to the 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute, 15 minute, whatever y'all do, structure will be different, obviously. But as the trader that I am, and I have been trading for 10 years now, I do like to look at the bigger picture so I don't get caught up in these small moves, right? Many of the times you'll say, oh, why did I take a buying position here? Why did I take a selling position so high and price shot up? Why did I take a buying position so high and price shot down? Well, maybe because you are running into some type of resistance, right? Some type of ceiling. But when you go down to the 1 minute chart, you can't see that, right? So this is why I like to stay or do my roadmaps, my markups on a higher time frame, right? But I am going to delete this because overall we are pushing bullish and I want to see price continue on up. I just want to be patient enough to wait, like I said, for that pullback so we can ride the wave or find that continuation pattern on up. All right, that one is pretty simple as well. Now gold, go back, watch my videos. You see exactly why I drew this up and exactly why it's working out, right? Because we did say that in this area there was many rejections, so there was a possibility of price coming back and doing the same exact thing that it did in the past. And sure enough, that is exactly what is happening. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart and we can see more structure being built. Now, what has happened? Price has came back to this exact area down here at 3,295, 800. And what happened? Price dug deep into our zone, gave us two bearish engulfing candles, and price is off to the races on bullish, right? So what would we be looking for coming into next week? Delete this. Okay, so since we do know we are getting some type of rejection out of this area, I would like to see price give me another pullback, build structure down here somewhere before continuing on up. Do I want to take a buying position when price is up here? No. Why? Do I want to take a buying position when we are running into this as well? No, because that is going to be acting as potentially resistance, right? As our ceiling. If you take a buying opportunity here, that tells me you are anticipating a breakout. And if you anticipate the breakout, more than likely you will get caught in a fake out, right? And price will just continue on down and you're going to be mad and say, why is this trading strategy not working? Why is none of the 10 strategies that you have looked up in the last 3 months not working? Because you are not patient enough to stick to a blueprint, all right? You cannot even stick to the basic principles of trading or price action. Keep it simple, guys, all right? So with that being said, how and only how and then can we find a buying opportunity in this? Well, we want to wait for price to actually break out, pull on back, build structure before continuing on up. Okay, so Those are the two things that we will be looking for. A, we will be looking for price to either break out, come back, build structure along this area, along this ceiling, now turn floor before continuing on up, or we would look for a minor pullback. Same thing, build structure before continuing on up, right? Those are our two scenarios that we will be looking for, right? A and B. This one I will do, I don't know. Why did I mark this area off here? Because simple, we do have rejection in this area as well, right? Boom. All right, let's move on. Pound USD, all right? Now, I did say that I was looking for a price to potentially build some structure in this area before continuing on up. And as you can see, that did not happen, but I very well still believe that price is bullish. Why? Because our last higher low point, which is right here, has not been broken. It is only when this last higher low point is broken that then price will continue on down. If that is not going to happen, then very well price could pull on back, build structure here, and then take on off up. This is why many of the times you will find yourself saying, oh, we are bearish, let me find an entry down here, right? You'll say, let me find an entry up here to take price on down. Price will go down a little bit and then shoot on up and then hit your stop loss, and you'll wonder why, what happened, right? Well, what happened is that you're not paying attention to the higher time frame, and you are going down, like I said, to the lower time frames, determining an entry, determining a stop loss, and you're just losing, right? But let's remove this so we can see a better picture. We do know this is our last higher low point. Now, with how much bearish momentum we are getting out of this market, I don't want to trade against that either, right? But so what am I going to have to wait for? I'm going to have to wait for price to pull into one of our bullish areas, or wait till price pulls on back to this area. But as of right now, we do know that price is going to be headed into some type of support, some type of floor bullish buyers, right? So I don't want to trade against them. I do want to trade with the trend. So as of right now, we will just wait for price to pull back deeper, give us some more pullback into this area before determining a buying opportunity, right? Because we also want to be careful, because this bear momentum could become an actual trend, right? If it becomes an actual trend, then and only then will we look for some type of selling opportunities. But as of now, you want to wait until price actually breaks, retests, and then continues on down. Okay, let's do this quickly. Now, Tesla, same thing with Tesla. We did determine that we were in a range and that we want to see price either break on out down to continue down, or break on out up to continue on up. If not, we are just in a range, and if you were to anticipate this type of breakout, you have been caught up, right? If you thought that if you bought in this area determining that price was going to do the breakout, you just got caught in a fake out because price shot up on down, and vice versa. If you said, oh, Tesla is going to head on out down, and you took a selling position up here and you did not take profit, you are now caught in the range, and price more than likely can continue on up. So what are we going to do? We are still continuing to just wait for price to either break on out up, give us a retest to continue up, or break on out down, give us a retest to continue on down. I cannot determine if price is going to continue down, or I cannot determine the breakout. We're going to have to wait, especially with news and Tesla and Elon and everything that's going on in the world. You don't know what is going to happen. So it is better to save your capital, protect your capital, and just wait for either the breakout on up or the breakout on down. All right, let's move on. Nvidia has been very bullish. With that being said, we have not got any type of pullback. So as of now, we are just simply waiting, right? Like I said, if you are an impatient trader and do take some type of buying position up here, trying to swing on up, you're just going to hit stop loss, because price eventually does have to make some type of pullback. And with that being said, every time I've taken a trade up so high, more than likely price ends up coming back anyways and hitting my stop loss. So with the 10 years of experience that I do have, we are going to have to wait for a pullback, right? That one's simple. Let's move on. Now, USDJPY. I was anticipating price to bounce off of this ceiling up here to come on down. That does not look like it will be happening. It looks like we will be getting some type of breakout. But do we trade the breakout? No. Why not? Because if we do, more than likely you will see price end up pulling on back anyways and hitting our stop loss, right? Many times that happens. So what do we want to do? We want to wait to see if this breakout, this big bull candle, can actually hold, and if price can build structure here before continuing on up. Then and only then will we look potentially maybe for some type of buying opportunity to take price on up. We want to wait to see if this breakout candle that is happening right now can hold, right? If it does not hold, it is just going to fake you out, right? So we will come back next week and I will keep on updating you. I hope this video helps. If it has helped, comment down below, DM me. If you want to see a specific pair be broken down, I got you. Hit me up.